So I'm going to move to Bricks. If you don't know who I am, my name is Szymanski, and I have owned a agency called Find a Tech since 2019. And on this channel specifically, I try to educate and talk to and have conversations with other web developers, agency owners, and just other people in this space about development, design, and really just the business of WordPress, because I find it all so fascinating and I like to have these conversations. But in this video, I just kind of want to talk about kind of the lay of the land, the next steps in my personal career here and in the agency in general in this WordPress space. So there's been a lot of stuff going on. I had a recent live stream. I put it in a card up here somewhere, whatever, if you want to take a look at that. I did just kind of like a off the cuff live stream about kind of everything that's going on in this WordPress community, and it's kind of crazy. There's a lot of different opinions on what the next steps of WordPress are, like what the best builder is currently, how bad Elementor is, how bad Divi is. I mean, like, everybody just has a different opinion on everything, and I love it. From my perspective, I am somebody that wants to be using the most powerful tools, the best practices as much as I can. I know I don't right now, and I'm always trying to move towards that. So I'm always open to seeing a new tool that is better than what I'm currently using, how to improve my workflow, how to be more profitable, how to be more scalable, maintainable. I love it. I think there are some people that that just want to stick their guns and keep doing what they're doing, and that is a-okay with me. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to always try to find those new tools. I'm going to be trying to share that with you guys as much as possible, because that is something that I'd like to do, like I said. So quick context about my journey so far, like I said, is I literally bought a Elementor Pro license, an unlimited one, for $150 a year back in 2018. And I've been using it since. I've built probably 60 to 100 websites, I don't know, on Elementor Pro. I've seen it grow up. I've seen it stagnate for quite some time, actually. I made videos in the past about Elementor, and it was really bad there for like a year and a half, 2 years. There's like nothing going on. And then stuff happened, I guess, internally, and now things have kind of shifted and things have gotten better. But I was using it, and then I, probably about 2 years ago or so, I bolted on Crocoblock, right? If you don't know what Crocoblock is, you got to check it out. I'll have a link down in the description and everything like that for the stuff we chat about here. But you have to check out Crocoblock Jet Engine. I'm not saying you got to use it, but at least look into it if you're like struggling, if you want to make more complex websites and you're getting bogged down, because especially if you stay with Elementor, it just changed my life. Okay, we'll just put it gently. It's not gently at all, but the reason being is, like, it just gives you so much more. Everything's packed into there. I'm not trying to sell you on Jet Engine. I'm just telling you what it did for me. Okay, but that's not what this video is about. So I'm just trying to give you the context. The reason I'm making this video is because I have had a paradigm shift here recently, and I need to talk about it, because I'm, like I said, listening to all these different people back and forth and watching a lot of like Kevin Geary content and Dave Foy and just even interviews with Josh Hall, interviewing different people from all different walks of life on, everybody is saying the next big thing is going to be the block editor and full site editing. That makes sense to me, and we could talk about that for days on end, because it's internal, it's core, but I don't believe it's there yet. Nobody has proven to me that it's there yet, and I don't want to go that route yet, because I just don't think it's time for that yet. But I do think that it makes natural sense that it probably will be the winner in the long run. That being said, I am building things that I want to do all sorts of different stuff with, and I want to have that scalability, maintainability, and everything. And what I have arrived at from watching different content and everything is that Bricks is that next thing right now. Just the way that it's crafted, the class first based approach, the things that it integrates too with. I mean, it integrates with Jet Engine. Like, I might even be able to continue to use parts of that. And so it's just really interesting to kind of see other people's stacks and everything they got going on. So I will share my screen here and kind of go through things. We're not going to go through the whole websites or anything like that, but I'm just going to tell you where I'm at, what I'm doing next. I purchased a Bricks license. I actually purchased it a little bit ago too. I purchased this $250 unlimited website plan. If you are considering doing this, okay, if you are considering moving to Bricks whatsoever, if you've seen any other content, because I'm not a Bricks creator yet, if you've seen any of that other stuff and you don't have Bricks yet, if you can spare $250, it might be a good idea to buy that. Specifically because The reason I bought it is because it's on unlimited websites lifetime deal. Like if Bricks ends up being like a really, really solid page builder for years, that is an incredible deal. Like it doesn't make sense how good that deal is. It's going up on January 15th to $600. Still not a terrible deal in my opinion, but they're also going to have like the yearly or monthly or whatever else they're going to have there. So it's going to be, it's going to be a different pricing structure. So consider it. I'm going to give you, here's what I like to do. I like to take in all the information, and I'm still learning how to use Bricks like very well because it's extremely different than Elementor Pro. If you're an Elementor Pro user right now and you think that like it's just fantastic, or if you've been like limited in any way, like whatever your opinion is on Elementor Pro, like if you haven't used Bricks, it's a totally different beast. It really makes you feel more like a developer, which is definitely overwhelming at first if you are not familiar with it. I actually have some programmatic experience, like programming and like from way back in the day, like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Java. But it's a totally different thing, and it's at least worth watching some videos if you're feeling like, if you've heard different things and you're like, I want to just look at something. So that's my honest opinion of it right now. So but to give you my trajectory on that and how I've arrived at this situation is I was watching interviews with people about the last 3 months about that block editor and about Bricks and like the state of everything. I've watched a ton of Kevin Geary content, and I've watched some David Foy content, and I've watched some Generate Press and Generate Block content and everything. And I just really like what Bricks does, because the common trope is that Elementor is like extremely bloated and it gives out bad code. There is a video in Kevin Geary's Page Building 101. I don't know if I think it's the first one, might be the second one. You should watch that. It's a 20-part series. He literally puts Bricks and Elementor side by side. This was the selling point for me. I'm gonna be honest with you. I had the Bricks license, but I didn't touch it yet. The selling point for me was when he showed everyone in that video that he went and he put like a heading in a section in Elementor and in Bricks. And in Bricks, there was like section, like in the DOM, which is like, DOM is like a funny word. I learned this, so I'm going to share it with you. DOM is literally just like the document object model. It's just like if you looked up view source, it's just that. That's all the DOM is, right? So so if you just look at the code, or if you look in the DOM, in Bricks, it's section, div, and then heading, like H1. Like there's nothing extra. I never knew that Elementor was actually as bloated as it was. And maybe one day they'll fix it, but it just makes sense that they built it so long ago. It's almost like, I don't know, I'm kind of spitballing here. The point is that those, like if you look at those side by side, Elementor has twice as many elements in that DOM that Bricks does. So that was like the point, was like, oh, I see what everyone's saying now. I didn't understand. That makes sense. Just makes sense that like if you have more stuff, it's going to take longer to load. There's literally more things in there. They're all like, it's like a bunch of different stuff. I'm not blaming Elementor. Elementor has been fantastic to me. I've never really even had any trouble with Elementor. I'm just saying that at the point I'm at in my career, I want to create things that are a little more, I would literally say professional, because they don't have all that stuff in there. And I don't even blame Elementor, because I do think that it's like a pro tool. It's just, it was created so early, or I don't even know. This is a hypothesis, speculation. I might be completely wrong. So whatever, if this is completely wrong, my thought is like they built it in like 2016 or whenever it was. And the way in which they built it, they didn't build it where you put a heading in and it just shows the H1 thing. It's like they almost built a product that creates code, like generates it, but doesn't generate it in the way that a human would, obviously. It's like they created widgets to then create elements, rather than just creating something that just puts the element in. I don't know. Maybe there was a limitation back then. I don't know. I'm just saying that I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, because I have no qualms with them. But it's kind of like, at this point, it's kind of like, we just got to go our separate ways, is kind of the way that I feel. So I'm moving towards Bricks now. And with that, like I said, I got the 250 lifetime license. And then obviously I've been watching a lot of Kevin Geary videos. And the thing that he has kind of made me realize is that, going back to my roots of like actual classes, IDs, and like actual, like, I don't want to call it object-oriented programming, because I don't think that's actually it, but like that type of styling of like using CSS in a manner in which it's much more scalable and maintainable and everything like that. He has a product called Automatic.css, and I am bought into that as well now, which I don't know what the pricing model is there. I'm on the Agency Pro plan, so I have that. And what AC, you don't need this. You don't need this. I would look into it. I would watch a video if you don't know what this is before you buy this. Don't just buy this, because while this is really helpful, you don't need it to use Bricks. I just got it because I know what it is, and I'm like, if I'm going to use Bricks, then I'm going to use ACSS because it speeds up that workflow. It does things that can help you. I'm going to give you a super high level, because that's what this video is. It's literally just like the opening introduction to me changing all of this up and just trying to give an update. What ACSS is a framework. Now, if like a lot of people, this is the thing in this community, like if a lot of people are coming to this area and they're designers, not developers, like they've never looked at code or they barely know anything about that, like this is going to be very, like, it's not that it's difficult. It's just going to be like a shock to your system. It is going to be overwhelming. You can absolutely do it, but you're going to be overwhelmed at first. And that's really where you want to be. You don't want to be comfortable all the time. You want to be a little, off, knocked off your game, because then that's when you grow. So, but I'm being transparent with you, because I fancy myself as somebody who actually knows this shit, and I'm still like, okay, I gotta like actually study this shit. You know what I mean? So I'm just being honest with you. But ACSS, what it actually does, because after watching some videos do I actually fully understand. It's like, basically, it's the thing that with ACSS is it's like some of the things like you feel like should be in Bricks already or should be in the builder. Because it's like you put in a main color and it creates a bunch of different other colors that are complementary, or like, like just your whole color palette. Like that's really cool. That's really useful. And then you can use those. The big thing is Kevin Geary talks about two things: utility classes and variables. Utility classes make things quicker, so you're able to style things quicker. The other thing that I want to talk about is, well, the variables real quick, is the variables are you're able to, like pick a color, one of these colors, and you're able to set that color as a color of like, within a class, like for text or a heading or something like that or whatever, some sort of element background color. And then you can change that thing just at that one place that you set that variable, and then it changes everywhere else. This is very difficult for me to explain, obviously, without seeing it, but I'm just trying to give you like a super high level. The thing that is like interesting to me, or the most confusing thing, is that when you are in Bricks, if you have this is why I say tread lightly on getting like ACSS. And I'll show you more content as I move through the progression of this, is that you have to understand when to use things and when to not use things, or like those best practices. Like it takes time to figure that out, and I'm not even there myself yet, so I can't really explain it to you. But my point is, like with Bricks, there's enough tools to get the job done. This type of thing is almost like, I would say, like a step up. So that's why if you're completely new to development, I'm not even sure if you should jump into this. Like I'm a little in between. So, but like I said, Bricks is gonna kind of reset your whole framework, your mental framework for building websites, and I think in a very good way. Because here's the thesis. Okay, this is the actual thesis. We're not even done yet. Here's the thesis, though. I would venture to say there is no way that HTML and CSS are going away. Like there's basically no way. Everybody has tried to encapsulate that and make it tougher for you to, or make it more easy, right? For you to be able to build websites and not have to worry about HTML and CSS and all that. But at the end of the day, it is what's in the back end. And if you don't know it, whatever, that's fine if you don't want to know it. But I'm saying if you don't know it, then you don't know what's actually going on underneath. So that's really what Bricks comes back and brings you gives you the opportunity to actually understand like the CSS and use classes and make things scalable and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, what I'm saying is if you buy into Bricks as an example, you are not really, there's no way to make a mistake doing that, because like it's not like you're buying into some sort of weird proprietary new thing. It's literally a builder that just makes CSS and makes that type of thing and scalability and everything easier. It makes building easier, makes cleaner code. It's not like you're trying something completely crazy brand new in a way. I mean, it's a newer product, but it's not, I don't know if that's making sense, but that's the way that I've looked at it from now. Last thing I want to talk about is the other thing that I bought, which is frames. Okay. So Frames is, you have to have, important distinction, you have to have a CSS in order to use Frames. Both built by Kevin Geary and the ACSS company. So Frames, and I have a split opinion here on Frames, because, and again, I don't know exactly how to use it as a super pro yet, but the thing with Frames is like your templates in Elementor. And as a side note in Elementor, I never used the templates. The reason is because when they changed to containers, I don't know if they updated all of those sections that were in the old templates. I didn't want to screw around with that. I also didn't like really trust the way that they built the things, because I don't know if they like how they set up the you know, the padding, the margins, and all this other stuff. And it's like, I don't know if, like, I'm just not really a fan of that. So I'm really not actually like off the rip like a fan of Frames, because that's just not how I never build. I always build from scratch. I never really build from a template or even just like components of templates. What Frames is literally like the templates in Elementor. So for instance, it's a big thing that you connect to Bricks, and you're able to say like this right here, if we're looking at this picture, right? So this is an image, this is a heading, this is a little, you know, accent heading or whatever, text, and then this is like a button or like just a link or whatever, right? So each one of those items, those elements in there, are Bricks elements. They're just crafted and templated like this, and then you can be in Bricks and you say, hey, import Hello Sierra, and it imports that stuff onto your page. And then you can edit it, you can do whatever, you can drop a new picture in there, you can change the text, whatever. The thing with me is I trust Kevin and the team to make these things great. I just don't like the feel of that. I don't like the feel of dumping in a template and then playing with it, because I'd have to really use it a lot in order to get to the feeling of being comfortable, because I don't know, like like there's classes in there that are named, you know, custom classes obviously that are named in there, certain things. The layers are all named differently. You just kind of have to play with it and feel with it. It's a fantastic product. I'm just, like I said, me personally, I'm trying to still feel it out, and I've only been using it for a little bit, so it's a little bit of a shock to the system. Also, I have PTSD from those Elementor templates, so I'm just like a little messed up from that. But we'll play around with Frames and we'll get it. Frames is on lifetime, $400 lifetime for 100 sites, I believe. So check that out if you're interested in it. The last thing I want to talk about with Frames real quick is because this is something that could change my entire workflow. And I've watched a couple videos on it, haven't tested it. I don't know if it was in Flux 2 or whatever for a little bit there. I thought I heard something about that, but don't quote me. Is Figma for Frames. If that is still completely a thing, double check. I know I've seen it. I'm pretty sure it is. I thought I just heard something about it the other day. This concept of having a Figma board or like, Figma project and everything like that, and being able to import these designs into the Figma project and being able to wireframe that out using these, that's next level. Because then you can very simply use that back in your website design, and just like kind of going through that process with something that's like all cohesive rather than like literally. I've never designed anything. I've never wireframed anything, because I'm not trying to go in there and like be like making boxes and shit and like putting headings and all that sort of stuff. I've never done that. That just doesn't make any sense. And that's kind of the pitch for Frames for Figma, is that it's wireframing, but it's like starting with templates and things like that, or frames, right? So yeah, just a kind of an update on kind of where I'm at there with that. Really, again, I'm bullish on Bricks right now, because I know it's super powerful. I need to use it a little bit better and figure it out a little bit more. ACSS seems like it's an absolute beast as far as like how it sets everything up and all of the power that's in it. Frames is awesome for the templating and everything like that. Again, not trying to sell you on any stuff. I'm just trying to tell you that this is where my mind is at. As a professional who wants to continue to do this for a long time, and educate you guys on what I'm doing and like the business and the and everything that's going on there and all the developments, I think that this is the next step forward for me, the next progression. So I will be moving away from the Elementor ecosystem. Obviously, I still have websites there, so I'm not like actually moving until all those sites will be like gone or something or redesigned. But I am going to be building in Bricks from now on. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm gonna rebuild this damn Mark Joseph Szymanski website for the third time now, and I'm gonna do it with Bricks. And hopefully it comes out really good. Hopefully it's really fast. And hopefully it's just a great experience and a good learning experience for me. And then you guys are going to have a ton of content and resources and tools on that website. And if you have anything in the meantime, if you have any questions or like things that you want me to cover as far as some of the other videos that I'm going to be putting out in the meantime, definitely let me know. I'm more than happy. I'm always looking for content suggestions and ways to help you guys out, or just have a conversation. Last little thing is I'm going to try to be doing a lot more live streams like once a week. So if you want to pop in there, we can talk about whatever. Maybe we can build some stuff. I don't know where we're going yet, but I'm happy about it because I'm excited to talk to you guys. I'm excited to just create this content for you, and we can all grow together. So that's all I got. That's where we're going next. It's Bricks time. We'll see what happens. So with that, that's all I got. Thanks, guys. Talk to you in the next one.